Welcome back. Defiant Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy is emerging as a global hero as Russian forces continue to attack his country. In your face, Putin! As we know, Zelenskyy is rallying Ukrainians to take up arms against the invaders, and his bravery is resonating with divided members of Congress. Republicans and Democrats growing more unified in praising Zelenskyy and condemning Russia. But are they on the same page with President Biden? How is he unifying our country? Let's get into it with our panel number two. We've got Independent Women's Forum senior policy analyst, it is Inez Stepman, along with former aide to Senator Chuck Schumer and host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast, Christopher Hahn is back, and 2020 Libertarian Party vice presidential candidate who knows what the future holds. It is Spike Cohen. Welcome, everyone. So let's discuss Zelenskyy a little bit, because this is a fascinating person who is inspiring his country. The United States offered to airlift him to safety out of Ukraine, and he said, "I don't need a ride, I need ammo." And a bunch of pictures surfaced of him with a lot of guns. It's kind of hot. Your thoughts, Inez?
Look, I definitely think he is becoming a rallying point. The fact that he is sharing the fate of his countrymen and his country is inspiring, and it ought to be inspiring. It is the stuff that leadership is made of. I don't think people, though, here expected somebody on the front lines. I think they expected a steady hand on the tiller from Joe Biden, and what we've gotten in the first year of his presidency couldn't have been further from a return to normalcy that I think a lot of people thought they were voting for in the election. So I think the comparison, this is a silly comparison between Zelenskyy and Biden in the sense that they're in wildly different situations. Thankfully, America is not under invasion, and they're very different personalities. But I do think that Americans are not really getting what they thought they were going to get to the extent that they voted for this president.
No, but Christopher, it really makes you realize how important and sobering the choice of a president is for United States citizens. It's not just a popularity contest. You know, think of all the things that this president has on his plate right now. He's got the State of the Union tomorrow night. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has not helped his poll numbers, nor has his reaction to the crisis been viewed favorably by Americans. So what does he have to do tomorrow night? And how will he contrast himself with someone young and vibrant like Zelenskyy, as opposed to an old person who's terrorizing us with too much power?
Well, it's clearly the speech of his life tomorrow night, right? The country is on edge, not just about Ukraine, but about the ending of COVID-19 restrictions, about the economy, about crime. He needs to address all those things head on. He needs to let the American people know that he understands they are concerned with all of these crises going on at home and abroad. And he's got to show them that he has a plan to resolve them and get us back on the right track when dealing with some of these crises. So, yeah, looking across the world at Zelenskyy and the bravery he's showing and the leadership he's showing in a crisis should be inspiring to anyone who is a leader to see that he would be out there doing that and standing up for his people, not just him, but other members of the Ukrainian parliament, celebrities in Ukraine, and the Ukrainian people themselves. So we pray for them tonight, and we hope that tomorrow Joe Biden can show America what he's going to do to try to resolve these problems.
Do you have a lot of faith in the president, or what do you think as a libertarian? What do you think of this crisis, and what do you think of President Zelenskyy being so heavily involved in it? Spike?
Well, I think President Zelenskyy doesn't really have much of a choice. If he flees the country, he's going to be seen as a coward, and he's not going to be able to do anything. And if he's staying there, he's obviously in danger as well. He understands that, besides the bravery, you also have to have an eye for how to control the media narrative. And he's an entertainer. He's a comedian. He knows how to create that narrative. I mean, he literally was on a TV show about being president and did so well at it that they elected him president. So he knows what he's doing, and that's why his image looks as good as it does now. The fact is, he inherited a lot of problems. He's only been president for a couple of years, and he inherited decades of problems that have nothing to do with anything he did. Mostly, it was caused by Russia, the U.S., and their allies. The biggest one being that the Ukraine at one point was a nuclear power. They decided to give up their nukes in exchange for security assurances, And for them, those assurances have amounted to promises from very powerful nuclear powers that they totally won't invade their country as long as they give up the one single thing that would have ensured that no one would have invaded their country. And we're seeing what happened as a result of that. And frankly, a lot of other countries are looking at that and looking at what nuclear non-proliferation looked like for Ukraine, and they might be second-guessing their own policies on that.
Yeah, and
So true, Spike.
Ukraine is looking around going, so where could we get some of our nuclear weapons back? And, you know,
They gave them to Russia. That's the problem.
Yeah, but